welcome back to our another episode of Global Interviews. This is Starlight here, and today we have a special guest, Nikita Fadeev, come to our podcast. Please welcome Nikita.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here.
For the first question, I would like to ask, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you transitioned into the crypto from TradeFi?
Sure, yeah. So actually, I guess my story is a bit unconventional. So I did maths at uni, which pretty common. And so I stumbled upon crypto in 2016. Was just like a passing interest, and that evolved into like proper passion. So I created a research team, started doing a bunch of research, and then after graduation, we decided to go serious about it and have a full-time position in crypto, just to learn as much as possible through some pretty interesting circumstances where I was talking to someone in a cafe, and somebody overheard me speaking about crypto. They approached, said like, "Oh, it's really exciting when you talk. Why don't we launch a fund together?" Which followed basically like a couple of days later after intense conversations. And so we're like fully set up that we're going to launch our own fund right out of uni. And so what we decided to do in the end is to partner up with existing fund who has the setup and everything. So we did that in 2018 with Fasanara Capital. So actually, I didn't spend any time in TradFi. So I got straight into crypto, straight into money management.
That's amazing. Okay, so what are the core business lines of Fasanara Digital?
Sure. So Fasanara Digital is the crypto arm of Fasanara Capital, which is London-based quant hedge fund with about 3.5 billion in assets under management. So Fasanara Digital is really all of the crypto efforts. So we started in 2018, and so over the past 4 years, effectively, we've been running a market neutral fund, which does a lot of arbitrage, liquidity provision on centralized and decentralized venues. We're really tech driven. So we do like quite a lot there, one of the largest perhaps. So that's the first fund. Second fund, which we launched not long ago, which is VC fund. So there we're actually looking to partner up with projects, invest in them, help them scale, assist them along the way. So we've been kind of incubating that fund and now running it full scale.
Can you tell us a bit about the market neutral trading strategy that are used at Fasanara?
Sure, yeah. So I guess market neutral is a loose definition, so it could mean many different things. So in our definition, like, the way we think about it, it's how much delta you have with each underlying instrument. So say if we consider Bitcoin, then we would be looking to have zero delta to Bitcoin across all of our positions, which could be tens of different positions across different instruments and markets. While in traditional finance, it could be, say, with a crypto analogy, Bitcoin versus ETH, which would be delta neutral position, but obviously you're long one asset, short the other. So we wouldn't be doing at least too much of those kind of trades. We'll be mostly focused on just arbing market inefficiencies cross exchanges and within exchanges, and also just providing liquidity between say spot and perps. So kind of rotating that like really frequently throughout the day. So that's kind of in a broad strokes the outlook of those strategies. Obviously there is a lot that's going on there, but roughly that's, to be honest, like I would say on one end quite agnostic, so we don't have those that we like cross out just because we don't like them. I would caveat that though is coin needs to be large enough, which naturally limits the scope for us. So effectively, we would be looking at larger open interest coins. So because of liquidity withdrawal and price action that we've seen, So there are probably like 40 coins roughly that we're looking at actively. And obviously, like as you go towards the tail, there are probably more per trade to be done, but at the same time the volume that you could do is smaller. So we don't tend to focus on those. We'd rather focus on the bigger ones and trade larger size.
How has the Fasanara Digital reached $150 million AUM in just 4 short years?
Yeah, so obviously, like there are many components there. So it helped to be part of an institutional fund, which Fasanara Capital is. So that definitely helped us to be seen very like institutionally and like recognized. But still, obviously, like we started with very little technology, very little understanding, and that got built over the years. And so kind of since then, like we won multiple awards for best crypto hedge fund, for the best performance and stuff. So I think like in our category, like of investable hedge funds, like we're probably like stack up like really well against the competition. And so naturally that puts us quite favorably in investor conversations. And so kind of similarly with bull and bear cycles, investors get quite excited about number going up, so they want to deploy. And so that's what we've seen, kind of the landscape of market neutral hedge funds like over the past we're actually probably like 2021 onwards for like about 10 months. It was just craziness, like a lot of people raised a lot of money. So there was like huge velocity, and so we were definitely like one of the beneficiaries of that. But like eventually it's it's kind of merit based and also kind of access in terms of are you talking to the right people and are you having the right product for them.
What are the next steps for Fasanara?
Sure. So there is a lot that's going on. So like the market is going through certain very much healthy regime where all the froth, all the kind of dead weight gets flushed out. So a lot of like bad projects surfaced, a lot of malicious actors, a lot of bad funds and just mismanagement kind of surfaced, and it became quite apparent using the benefit of hindsight. And so for us, it's really like building for the long term. We're pretty much convinced that crypto is here to stay. There will be like a lot of innovation that's gonna happen that's already showing promising results, and there will be like much more of that going forward. And so we definitely want to be like alongside the builders, kind of invest in those projects, supporting the ecosystem by providing liquidity, being active at just kind of offering ourselves in any capacity to the projects, to the ecosystem, and kind of offer investors like superior risk-adjusted returns. That's kind of our focus.
The next question is, what are your thoughts on the current market conditions? Do you think we've seen the bottom yet in this bear market?
So it's tough to say. I think probably not. And obviously, the past week or 2 weeks were indication of how sensitive market is to the news. Like CPI came out and like we've tumbled from like 22K to like 19 at the moment on BTC. So most likely there will be lower lows printed, and it's just a function of just general market dynamics. Everything is macro driven. Macro is the biggest narrative out there, and we just need to go through this painful period. So my outlook is that I guess quite similarly to consensus is that there is more pain to stomach by the market, that there will be more tightening, more rate hikes coming, which is kind of certainty at this point. And there will be like more and more effects to the real economy, to kind of common people and everything, and to the investors' budget and the available liquidity. So I think the market is really tough to trade right now, but kind of under these difficult conditions, the firms that's going to succeed in the future are built. Like what's our focus being is risk management. So it's the most important thing. Like for the funds, I believe. Obviously, you're paid to take risks, but you want to calculate the risks. So sizing your bets is what you need to be doing and kind of thinking all day long. So for us, kind of the mantra has always been like we want to be one of the best performing funds in 10 years and not in any given year. So just like this year, a lot of funds took just a bit more risk and they blew up. Some funds took a bit more risk and they did okay. But like what we see across the board is that crypto funds are like definitely out of favor on the investors list of allocations. And so I've seen like major like redemptions, major shutdowns of like big funds. So for us, it's really managing the risk, making sure that we go through these periods unscathed, so that we can stay where we are and gradually kind of pick up the pace. So that's kind of been our mindset. Say like over May and June, as the repercussions and as the dominoes kept on falling post-Luna collapse, it was like very careful consideration from us when to start scaling up. And I think right now is a bit healthier, more stable environment to start doing so. So just kind of keep on building, having a long-term view, and just kind of performing our function of helping markets to be more efficient and more liquid.
Great. Okay, the final question, but not least, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to enter the crypto trading space?
Well, I guess it kind of really depends. Like are you thinking about somebody like already, so kind of just out of uni, or like already in a
like just say newbie trader?
Yeah, I guess like I would again like I'd try to understand like what is their kind of objective function, what is it that they're trying to achieve, what is their why for doing something. But I guess like if I take the broadest interpretation of the question, then I would just try to advise somebody who has this picture of crypto being particularly exciting space, which I think it is, like hands down, it's like the most exciting thing, at least that I'm aware of. But I think they need to really try to put it in a context and see what that actually means. Like what does it mean for you to work in a trading firm? Like what does it mean to work in a crypto firm? What the hours look like? What is the type of job that you could be doing? Like say on a year 0, on a year 10, like effectively like crypto now is a bit more, a bit de-risked career choice, but at the same time still it's not like as stable as joining one of the investment banks and kind of staying there for your whole career. So you're taking bets, just like we've seen I don't know how many, like probably hundreds of like big crypto firms going out of business, just like on a Luna kind of situation. So you need to be preparing yourself for like a bumpy road potentially, but eventually it's the journey that matters, and well, partially the destination as well. So you kind of need to ask yourself like, what do you want to achieve? And crypto might well be an answer, but might as well not be the correct one. But yeah, like I would try to learn as much as possible, talk to as many people as possible, try to like envision like what the job looks like, what are the different questions that are being solved, and think like, is that something that's appealing? Is that something that I would enjoy doing? Yeah, I guess those are quite a few different ideas, but those are some that I would think about. To be honest, like I don't have like too many things that I would want to change. Sometimes, but again, it's just like a personal taste. You kind of need to strike good balance between trying new things versus, you know, sticking to the ones that you're working on. So obviously, like I never had like any prior experience before, you know, starting, Fasanara Digital. So it was hard for me to judge the effectively like success rate or like guesstimate like the impact of different like ideas. So potentially I should have like explored like a bit more, and perhaps I should have just kind of try more different things. But again, at the same time, I feel like, you know, we tried a bunch, even quite early on, and kept on trying. I think maybe like, and again, like it just a choice of everyone. But for me, maybe like trying to think a bit more ambitious and like a bit faster. So I think, you know, we're definitely thinking like super ambitious, but just kind of trying to push the execution speed like a bit more, trying to like leverage resources a bit more to try to get ahead. But again, I think we did quite well as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe our channel as well. And thank you, Nikita, for coming today.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye.